Hello, I'm Authentically Michelle, passionate foodie, blogger, and entrepreneur. And today I am going to do a quick video talking about salting eggplants. Now I know many persons within the culinary industry would be very familiar with this skill. It's not something that I was familiar with back when I shared a few vegan recipes for eggplants on my blog. So I did a stuffed eggplant and then also eggplant rolls. I like the consistency of it for those particular recipes. The texture held up very well with the ingredients, and also the flavors were very balanced while also giving a good bit of a punch. So if you have not checked out my blog, you can click the link in my bio to see those recipes, and also stay tuned for much more. So if you haven't heard about salting eggplants, this is actually a technique that has many advantages. It started off a few generations ago, and it was because the eggplants back in the day had more bitterness to it. So I'm going to list off about 5 benefits to salting eggplants. And so of course, when you think about cooking, any form of cooking, you don't want any flavor that's a bit off. So tarty, sour, bitter, bland, you can always kind of spruce up, right? Just a little bit of salt. But with the eggplants nowadays, it has a much milder flavor despite any variety that you may purchase. So I thought to try this technique out, and I'm just going to show you what I did. So one of the advantages of salting is not only flavor related, but also as a form of curing, which we're familiar with when it comes to meats, also with seafoods, when you want to do ceviche, or in the Bahamas, conch salad. Always gotta add your salt to it. So it is a raw form of conch. We would use salt, lime, orange to flavor it, cure it, and also add vegetables to it. So we have our onions, tomatoes, sweet peppers. Not everyone's into that, is having all of those things. The great thing is you can just have it done as you like. So I don't believe in food waste. I try to save as much of the food as possible, food item. Whole foods I support. So I had an eggplant, a medium-sized eggplant in the fridge. It was becoming a bit mature, staying in the fridge, me not using it as quickly as I should have. And the great thing was to help save it and make it more useful in my recipes. Once I peeled it off, I did some long slices. I'll share a photo or two. And I was able to get it going. So we're going to unwrap. What I did is I did the long slices. I added about a half a teaspoon of salt. Yes. And I kind of tossed it around, and then I placed a layer of tissue at the bottom of the container. And then I also placed the eggplant, and then I wrapped it. So this is it here, after it being there overnight. And anyone who's familiar with frying would know that you can tell that the tissue is no longer dry. You can see the moisture here in it to let you know that it has definitely absorbed it right there. So as I open it up for you guys, you can see it. There you go. Yes. So this actually goes to one of the benefits of salting eggplant. So one is it removes water from the eggplant. It also reduces oil absorption. I'm going to show you what it looks like. And this is actually quite shiny. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's still quite wet to show that the water has been removed from it. And what you will see is when you start to do this, right? So when you either, what you can do to start it off, you can put it in a colander and you can have the tissue there, the eggplants, you toss it in the salt, you spread it. You can either spread it on a baking sheet or you can put it in a plastic container like I did, reusable, and do it for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So yes, so in addition to this, if you think about normally when you cook eggplants, it would have after a while it would start to have like that mushy consistency, so it would be absorbing oil, the water would still be in the eggplant. It's just really soft and it takes a while to kind of cook down the chunkiness on the outside. So salting it prevents this from happening. You would actually have a smooth texture, smooth and silky, but not mushy. So it definitely helps with that. And then what you would do is you would actually rinse these off with cool water, pat dry, and you are ready to go. Another thing to look for is if it has a lot of seeds, if it's mature, meaning that it has dark spots, it's a little soft, the salt will help you with that. The bigger it is, the more likely it is to be bitter, and the more seeds it has, the more likely it is to be bitter. So these are all reasons to salt your eggplants before cooking, and then also reasons to enhance the flavor, enhance the texture, enhance your cooking experience with eggplants. So follow me at Authentically Michelle on Instagram and Facebook for more cooking tips, and I am going to keep you in the know when it comes to what I've done with these beautiful thick eggplants. You saw how easily we were able to pick up this eggplant. It really counters the usual texture, which is soft and mushy. But by salting the eggplants in advance, we are now able to enjoy the denseness of eggplant without sacrificing flavor. So it's really such a difference in texture and taste. Thanks for watching.